Welcome back to Knack II. So yeah, after the whole Katrina thing went fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
you
seriously,
see, now
seriously, Pedro,
Katrina's on our
question.
side.
Like, what Knack said to Katrina to convince her?
Honestly, I don't even know, Theo. I don't think Mark even knows.
Did he promise their hot relic robot sex or something?
Well, Tia. Well, clearly the game wants to establish that
Theo,
Katrina,
please.
for some reason, does not have hard feelings against the robot who pushed her into the lava, but she, again, hates more so the guy who actually saved her from the lava.
Also, Theo, me and the audience would appreciate if you keep your fetishes out of this.
You know, that's actually a thing. I don't even see Rule 34 of Knack. Like, he's that...
Do we really need to see that?
This is one of those things
That's
I
the
don't
thing,
want
though.
to
Normally
discover.
there's Rule 34 of everything, but I don't think I've seen any of that.
I can imagine someone doing this, though, like, without getting into details, though. I can imagine someone just doing that.
Oh, there's a reason why we probably won't see much of that, because it would take for freaking ever, because Knack is just
Yeah,
particles.
again, it goes back to the problems that Pedro mentioned. The fact that Knack, drawing Knack is kind of like an exercise in itself.
I mean, I'll give
Oh
emoji.
shit, Lucas.
I mean, I'll give stuff like emojis credit. Those are easy to make fan art of because they're literally circles with faces on it. Knack is a fan artist's nightmare.
Even in terms of fan, like how exactly would someone cosplay as Knack?
Yeah, true. That's
I
another
don't
thing.
even.
Oh, I'm sure somebody would be able to. I've seen some pretty elaborate stuff.
Yeah, but I've never heard of a
Yeah,
Knack
but
cosplay.
Knack is literally a bunch of floating little particles, Shiro. How would a cosplayer even replicate that?
I mean, lots of individual pieces stuck to a suit. I don't know.
Sure. Do you think that there's really a notable enough fan base that will go to that much trouble? Again, surely we'd have seen pictures of that by now.
I mean, there probably isn't enough interest
check.
to actually, you know, encourage Knack cosplays, but never underestimate a cosplayer on what they will do to get a costume right.
Oh, sure.
There's actually something.
A cosplay of Knack? Or a
Yeah,
Rule 63?
apparently, no, the cosplay. I think it was, apparently it says GameStop Expo 2014. So, take this,
My favorite cosplayers are the ones who cosplay memes.
because of course.
Also, the occasional random person dressed as a Pokestop you see standing around every few feet.
Alright, let's go.
Why
you get another level of beating the same exact moves
So
over
you're
and
also
over
telling
and
me that the miners of this place are trained automatically to attack Knack on sight because they're now serving Xander.
You know, at least the robots in the Sega CD Terminator game actually, at the very least, didn't feel ethically questionable.
To be fair, we could have just started shouting "Become as gods," so.
Sorry, Theo. Dead Perry does have a sense of humor, but it usually doesn't involve religion.
Or philosophy, yeah. Also, the miners are armed with that chainsaw buzzsaw baton thing that Bagamnan from Final Fantasy XII has as a weapon. Why?
Because, Theo. Because.
Also, rotating discs. No, throwing discs.
They're dark energy discs.
Huh.
They'll send you to the Shadow Realm if you touch
Katrina's
them.
waiting at the front of the mountain.
Yes.
We gotta get to her somehow.
Alright, there you go. Jova!
Jova?
Jova?
Jova!
You can't escape with the
Well,
magnificent...
fell
okay,
asleep.
okay. Jova
Why?
died. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
There you
there he is.
Anyway,
Jova,
as I was saying...
Come throw in one of your positive remarks. I've run out of things to say. Go ahead.
Wait. Have
Say
you guys
something.
not heard me the entire time?
No.
Nope.
Only the last couple of minutes, Jova.
Unless
Whatever,
I was accidentally... You know what? Whatever. Anyway, So Knack, why couldn't you have just joined Katrina, who you were clearly overlooking at the end of that last cutscene? Like, I'm sure you could have just jumped down the
I
mountain
think
to
they
join.
mentioned that the plan was of Katrina creating a diversion while Knack was infiltrating stealthily, kinda.
Even though we're supposed to meet with her, I mean, what is this all somehow going through? Whatever Xander's
I'm guessing the plan is meet on the other side after things are clear.
I
guess.
Though, of all the places to go through, a mine? I mean...
Yeah.
feels so out of place.
I
It's not
don't
very
know.
practical, is it?
No, you're also telling me that the main city where these guys lived until Xander took over
Cutscene.
is sitting on top of the mine, sorry.
We might
Kind
be able
of.
to get the door open from there.
If you say so.
Thanks for the input, Knack. Like, even Knack either just agrees with things or is terrible one-liners.
No, his dialogue extends only to that.
Such waste.
Don't worry, Teo. It's at the end of this game where Mark decides to finally give him some kind of an arc and goal.
Wow, cool. Wow, Xander's polished them up so good that they've gone from being encased in stone to being shiny. I mean, okay, you know what, Restoration, I guess, good job on that.
Well, Jova, it just creates another case where the enemy gets all the cool toys and Knack is stuck with shit.
Also, you know what this means, guys? The High Goblins were even more useless. Yes, the supposedly tech-savvy High Goblins, which need to get robots from the supposedly non-tech-savvy regular Goblins, couldn't even get their robots polished up this well. I mean, apparently their tech just came, and, they just happen to be activating these old robots, whereas the humans are doing a better job than them. Which begs the question, why were humans never threatened by goblins at this point?
No fucking idea.
Me neither. I mean, especially considering how the goblins have shown to be completely and utterly incompetent without the help of Charlotte making
But that's
robots for
also the
them.
problem. The goblins are idiots on their own. The humans are idiots on their own. It's like, by the logic of Darwinism, neither of these species should actually survive on this fucking planet.
Well, technically it's survival of the fittest, so technically humans are smarter. Technically, I mean, hey, humans made Knack, who saved the day.
Well, we don't even know if Knack was made by humans. The whole relic technology is a thing of the past that is still unexplained.
Actually, too, Vargas did establish that he did create Knack. He just created Knack from the core he found at that temple.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's the
but
thing.
we haven't explained the core though.
No, the thing. I remember the flashback. He mentions that the core just activated in his presence. He doesn't know why, and relics just basically formed around him. Now Vargas simply put just treat the results as a pet. And
Well,
Teo, I'll
not-
get back to you in the end of the game.
Not entirely, Teo. From what I recall in the first game, Vargas did actually make modifications that gave the thing sort of a soul, which makes Knack.
I don't know, Joe. All he said was, I experimented with the relics and boom, Knack.
Yeah, hey, you know what I really don't like? Vague expressions. They teach you that in college writing that, vagueness kind of leads to just wordy lettering, which just leads to a bunch of noise, which leads to a bunch of what the heck is even going on here.
I'm being intentionally vague, therefore I must be clever.
I mean, at the very least, be specific. What does he mean by he experimented? Did he use electric jolts to give it life? Did he, I don't know, put it underwater to test its sustainability? And that guy seriously didn't hear you until it was too late.
best guard ever, and he just disappears like that. He doesn't even teleport.
I mean, again, it really does show how even though they want us to really like Knack, they don't put
Was
in
it
the
supposed to
proper
be a
effort.
comedy moment?
There
Oh, there you go.
Katrina's
Those
army.
are Katrina's army. There you go. Ah, so now we're the one getting. We were the one getting the door open, and then we're causing the diversion.
Ah, so that's what we were doing. Why couldn't the story have just been more clear about that dialogue-wise?
Well, they did, but it was right at the end of the party. We were already confused by the fact that the Katrina as resolution, basically.
Also, by this argument, couldn't Katrina and her forces have snuck in the way Knack came, and then wouldn't that have caught them
Yeah,
off
if I had
guard
to be
even
blunt,
more?
one of their ballerina, like soldier, seems to be more capable in infiltration than Knack.
Yeah, like I mean, why not?
Which
Why not?
begs the question, what uses Knack exactly?
Well, technically, Knack can do what her soldiers can, and holy cow, they can stun.
That's new.
Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. These robots are way more awesome than Knack.
Again, another faction that has cool toys, while Knack gets shit.
Wow, you gotta love this game. Right as I'm saying Knack can do something they can't, all of a sudden, oh, they can also do the stun move.
He doesn't quite have the knack of this, does he?
He can grow?
On the corner, right?
Hey, Pedro,
No.
is this one of those cases where if you leave it to the robots, they'll actually get rid of Xander's army for you?
No, even though, yes, they are helping you, for the most part, you still kind of have to kill them yourself. They're just basically kind of...
Well, at least they're AI that's useful, and they're AI that, even though they can't defeat the enemy, still feels more useful than that.
Blockbuster?
Let me guess, because you beat up enough enemies.
No, because you break the enemy guards or block.
I
Maybe
guess,
because
yeah.
you broke enough
Basically, you're
blocks.
busting the block of the enemy. That's how the power works here.
Yes. We're so clever.
Totally. There's also a minor Marvel villain that's called like that.
Oh, and a
Blockbuster.
DC villain.
I guess it was very common to use at the time.
I think DC did it first.
Well, it's not like it really mattered because the Marvel one was barely used at all, to the point that when High Moon Studios used it for the Deadpool video game, even Wade himself is like, of all the people, you have to choose this guy.
Go figure.
Alright, and now we have to fight a giant robot.
Again,
Well, the bigger they are,
the harder they fall,
yes.
or the bigger they are, the more awesome they are than you. Seriously.
Let's just hope we're not using the mind jack kind of like way of saying, because that's slightly different.
We start by making a big CG building and having a giant robot go whoosh, and then it's all growl, and then it's all those motorcycles bursting into flames, you know?
You know, I'm just gonna say this right now, if I may.
Go ahead.
I don't think I've ever played a video game that makes me feel so much lamer than practically any other person
Everything.
in this game. Like,
Not just that,
I can
Jova.
tell you this, Jova, it's similar to the fact of Final Fantasy XIII. Only in that case it's applied to a JRPG format. Your base, despite you leveling up and everything, you will always feel worthless compared to the enemy that you face.
you know, at least I can't believe I'm saying this. At least Final Fantasy XIII gave us Army of One, an incredibly OP technique that did eventually make you feel like, holy cow, you were actually strong. And you
Well,
know,
yeah, the problem is, Joe, by the time you do get that thing, it's way late into the game, and even then, yeah, it works fine on normal enemies, but it's useless against bosses. So...
Which, are the one that you need to focus on.
that said though, by the time you get to bosses, you're pretty much leveled up enough. Considering
No,
all the
Jova, that's
grinding you
exactly the
gotta
point
do.
where it wanted to try to convey. For 13, even when you actually max out, you never feel as if you actually have an actual advantage over the enemies.
No.
So a lot of
Right.
times, basically the general consensus is that it feels like you've done the bare minimum, and sometimes you don't feel that's even enough. Particularly, Jova, let me tell you also this, only the enemy is the one that gets around to play with the good toys. In the specific case of 13,
Oh, cutscene.
He's repairing
Okay,
the Titans
cutscene.
too. What now?
Why is it just a surprise he's repairing the Titans
No.
too?
We fight.
Hey, look at that, Jova. We found
From
Megatron.
the other side.
magic,
So,
holy.
are we gonna actually get to pilot him?
No, well, later, not in this level.
So, what exactly was Knack's plan when he said we fight? Like, the way
We
they were
should-
looking up at it, you think, oh, that means we're actually gonna pilot it, but no, it's just we fight. What is the plan? That thing is 10 times your size, and there's not nearly enough relics enough for
Would you
you to
s-
become as big as you were at the end of the oh my god, I just realized something.
What?
You know how we could solve this plot? Make Knack as big as he was at the end of the first game. He was clearly
Yeah.
bigger than any of these Titans were. Just give him enough relics and bam, he should be able to solve this.
You'd think Lucas would pack like a big a big box full of relics for emergencies like this, but no.
And hey,
The
remember how
characters
much...
are way too stupid to do anything
Yeah,
like
but-
that.
And I'm
What
sorry,
happened
but
to
didn't
those giant relics that were behind the door at the end of the first game? Yes, Knack used them to bury the rest of the ruins, but they could have returned to him later.
Not only that, but the first game clearly established that this world practically runs on relics to the point where even street posts have relics in them. Even the mailbox had relics in it. So, even if Lucas didn't bring all those relics with him, you cannot convince me that all of a sudden, conveniently for the second game, there's not enough relics around for that. By the way, do we ever get as big as we were in the first game? Because again, that was one of the awesome things of the first game, how big you could get.
No, we don't get as big as we did in the first game. Not that it matters, though, Joe, because the final boss of this game works a bit differently than the one in the previous game.
So let me get this straight. The most iconic thing about Knack as a video game character, the size he could become, is gone by the time of the second game.
Also, today you're cutting out a bit. You might want to res it.
It's really weird how at times the sequel feels like a downgrade.
Yeah.
Okay, cutscene. And
3 Titans in perfect shape. Not bad. After we get one more.
Look at that. Look how generic those robots look, Jova. Don't you love that?
Attack on New Haven.
Ava, you're okay with this attack on New Haven? Why are they attacking New Haven?
Well, actually, you can tell through the way she's animated that she's feeling conflicted because basically
I don't know. The
Mark
way
is
she was
going
animated
for-
there looked like she was completely on board with that smile.
Well, regardless of that, though, like there you go. See,
there we go.
you can tell that what Mark is going for with her is that she's conflicted because she knows this is wrong, but at the same time, Xander raised her, so she's basically her father figure. So she does also feel like she should be on his side. So basically, it's a conflict between her moral compass and her feelings for Xander, basically.
Sure, Roy, do you feel moved by
Yes.
that? Oh my
Not
god!
really.
It's a
In
power
fact, I didn't even
crystal!
see it.
Wait, oh my god, that's literally a power crystal, just purple.
Don't you see, Jova? The Allspark is a tool for great good. Never mind the fact that in Transformers 2, every time they use it, it turned everything into Decepticons.
Don't you mean Transformers 1?
Is it in the first movie as well?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Transformers 2, that was the Matrix.
You have to understand, Jova, that the first 3 movies just kind of blend in together for me.
Transformers 2, that was the Matrix of leadership we were after.
True, but again, you have to understand, Jova, that those 3 movies blend in. They kind of blend into me. Like they just cover. They're just basically the same shit. Insert X-Force here. Decepticons are attacking. Boom, kaboom, kadoom, boom. The end.
So, why is Xander attacking New Haven? Is he literally going to be that hostile and taking
Because
over the
he's
world?
the bad guy, Jova, and that's what villains do. They attack people.
Hey, at least they tried having him have something of a, of a justified morality, saying he wanted to do it for world peace, but, I guess not even that.
It doesn't even have to be that, Joe. It could be for revenge for something. Like, here's the thing. His motivation is basically for revenge.
That's right. He's mad at humans because they forgot
about his culture.
Never mind the fact that his culture went into hiding, so...
Maybe it could work if we had better context. We have basically zero context for Xander and how he feels about it. Like the whole plot point of him wanting to take revenge on humans, it comes out of nowhere in that scene we saw 2 parts ago.
And you know what's sad? In some ways it makes him a weaker villain than Victor. Victor was incredibly stupid, but the main reason he was stupid was how he tried to get his plans done. His plan overall, though, was to apparently, for the most part, try to help the better for humanity. The problem was just how stupid he was in doing it. Xander's plan, though, is not only stupid in his methodology at times. I mean, granted, it's not as stupid as Victor's methodology, but Xander's plan fails on a fundamental level, in a level that makes no sense whatsoever.
It could have worked if we had more context to explain it, but we don't.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Victor was more into... That guy literally just backed himself off there.
Yeah, not just that. Yeah, like what Joe was saying. Victor's stupidity was at the very least somewhat fun to dissect. Like this villain is as boring as it gets.
Also, it helped that the foil to Victor was Katrina, in the sense that Katrina was pretty much the no-nonsense, competent, evil girl who pretty much still stayed faithful to him. Here, Xander's foil is Ava, who is totally not going to realize that this is wrong and turn on him, guys.
Totally.
Yeah. See the reason. Oh, hold on, cutscene. Kind of.
More mooks.
Oh.
There you go. Ava decided to help out Knack, basically.
Why? Okay, so honest
Hello.
question. Honest question.
Oh yeah, that's the best line you can come up with.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
hell, man.
You know, there's a problem here, guys. Knack already could have become big because remember, we've been playing as Knack, able to switch sizes no matter how far away his particles are from him, which makes this cutscene absolutely pointless.
And the award for completely incompetent writer and director goes to Mark
That'd be
Cerny. Well, okay, fine, yeah, but he's not. He's not in this game. So for now, we'll give the award to him.
Like a contestant thing, like.
Remember, Theo. Detroit came out in 2018. This came out in 2017. So David Cage gets a 2018 award, whereas Mark gets a 2017 award. How about that?
So
Alright.
even worse than Bubsy's story.
Well,
That's
yeah,
sad.
no,
Anyway,
but
yeah, going
I
back...
think what I forgot to mention, I didn't mention before because I was away. Like, I love the way how Xander shifts moves and becomes a psychopath. I don't know. He's like, get the thing. It becomes the Ice King from Adventure Time.
I mean, seriously, you couldn't see. Here's the thing: the reason variants fall into darkness in Tangled works is because we actually get to see it throughout the entire season, and we have proper context to see it. Whereas in here, it just comes out of fucking nowhere. We know nothing about this character.
I mean, we
at all.
technically... Okay, I think the problem is, like, well, what we knew about Xander up to the point before he became a bad guy kind of spits in the face of a lot of this. Xander was overall a friendly guy, someone who legit helped us. He really didn't have any reason to be hostile. Heck, if anything, again, his revenge is for the humans forgetting about him, even though we, the humans, came to them. Like, again, the only reason we found you guys was because you came out of hiding. The very hiding that made us forget about you. Like, all it would have taken was just a few extra lines of dialogue.
Explanations. Yeah, like that's the big problem. There's no context. We have very little context to support this.
Everyone just kind of shows up, like, with each other at one point, and we don't really see much in between.
Yeah.
So nice to be big again. Really, Knack?
But Knack, you're constantly switching between small and big. Did the writers seriously forget that this is kind of a thing gameplay-wise? And no, gameplay and story integration doesn't work here because, again, they go to such great lengths establishing why we get gameplay elements here and there. It's well established that Knack can switch from small to big. You know.
He does it every few seconds.
Yeah, unless those relics are like, an entire island's length away from him, he can pretty much summon them just fine.
Yep.
I mean, there could have been...
And he can easily get them back even if he isn't.
Hey, you know what would have been a better way to show how Ava's legit helping? Why not have her give Knack a new ability? That's what you've been doing with her.
I mean, that's the thing, yeah, she have been doing that for the entire game anyway, might as well keep that tradition.
She's been making them pop out of thin air.
So the one time, her giving Knack an ability might actually help the story, and you instead just have her dump a box of relics.
Oh
Is it to
shit!
falsify a sense of tension or something? I don't know.
Oh shit! I can get through these section of enemies. It's okay. I'll just conjure up this bullshit ball of energy that gives you the exact move that you need.
Yeah.
This is called the convenience ball.
And
Yes.
yet the one time when I would be okay with them using it for her story-wise, they don't. They do the one thing that makes the story make even less sense than it already does.
Not just that, Jova, but what's the best way you can remove every tension, all the tension out of your story, is by having a character that can basically conjure up any power that the hero needs every time he gets into trouble. Like, oh, okay, oh shit, I can't take down these enemies because I have electric power. It's okay, I have this power up that you can throw so you can stun them. Oh shit.
Oh, look at that, another...
To be fair,
Theo,
Pedro, that's
look,
kind of the
power
logic behind the
crystals.
Metroidvania games. I can pass this barrier, I need to find the power-up that allows me to do it. So.
Hey, Theo,
True,
look.
but... Go ahead.
More of those power crystals, just purple.
Well, here's the thing, Teo. The tension in Metroid usually comes from being immersed and lost in the world, not so much from Well, okay, yeah, the danger is also kind of a factor, but in terms of the enemies, but it's mostly the exploration and the overall sense of loneliness that builds up the tension, not so much.
What I mean is the problem is not the fact that a story may require you a power-up to progress through maybe a different section, it's how it's handled. The timing is a thing that you mentioned, but a good story will actually manage to have something that can work around it. Like, for example, in the Strider franchise, all the technology that Strider uses, it's stuff that exists in universe. It's not a thing that, like, stuff like the pull out of his ass. He's basically stealing stuff from the enemy and reconverting it for his own use. Like power-ups for his plasma katana, the Cypher, for example.
Heck, even better, we've got the Arkham series, you know, starring Batman, the guy who you would think would automatically have everything. No, Batman actually gives a reason why he doesn't have everything he needs from the get-go. It literally would have weighed him down in his belt.
And a lot of times he basically gets new equipment by basically salvaging stuff from that he found here and there.
Or having it be airlifted to him. Again, here's something. When Batman, pretty much the grandfather of Deus Ex Machina abilities and whatnot, actually can adapt and give good reasons why the player gets abilities, you have no excuse to be so lazy.
No.
This level is still going.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we go.
So you did attack them.
Of course I did.
Ava.
They were a problem, but you let your emotions decide.
You decide what's
Okay.
right. This is not what our founder wanted.
Sorry. Who is she surprised that he attacked?
Lead this world. You know
Knack.
that. Just wait. You will come to understand I am right in these matters. Once
So
the
you're
months
telling
are
me
in
that
their
in 6
proper
months
place,
you never explained her anything?
you won't even remember those boys.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Those boys? Knack and Lucas
Yes,
are
these
my
friends that I've known for like 3 days.
My friends who I allowed you to strand on an island that for all I know they could have starved on. My
Enough,
friends?
Xander. Enough of your plans, your ambition.
Oh, Jennifer Hale, she's trying. Lord help her, she's trying.
So what she's doing? Oh, she's helping Katrin.
So, did you just happen to know that that would happen? Because for all you know, that would have just opened the door and... Oh my God. Well, cried.
What have you done?
What I should have done long ago.
I messed with your levers!
Ava!
No, seriously, she just pulled down on the
Stop her.
levers.
Does Xander...
No, stop, come back.
Does Xander have no abilities whatsoever?
Mine.
No, he's just
But he's
kind
a-
of angry.
But he's a
dude.
monk. He should be able to put a kick or something. Or
See,
have a
the
gun.
my guess is too he's really rusty and out of practice.
Also, let me
because
get this straight. All it takes to mess up Xander's operations here is for Eva to just thrust down on the control panel levers like that, and
Oh
then...
no, the Decepticons are attacking.
Well, to be fair, Jova, that lever
Oh, hey,
was
Eva.
about a door that was blocking the Katrina's army.
But
it
not
wasn't tied to the... The Titan falling was because Katrina's army cut away the supports.
Here's the thing, though. Again, for all Eva knew, that would have just opened a door. Like, was it common knowledge that they were outside that door?
Apparently she knew or something, I guess.
No. And, you know, I mean...
An incredibly generic robot is attacking us! Run away! Run away!
Also, poor Jennifer Hale. She has gotten to do so much better, and it sounded like she was really forcing out for that scene.
Yeah, the direction that they gave her was just bad.
Like, seriously, this is supposed to be Eva's big turning bout moment, yet it feels more like she's, you know, having more of a crying fit against her father.
I forgot, aren't these the titans that we can also face at the beginning of the game in that medias res?
Very good.
Oh,
We're
look at that.
actually-
So,
Titanic
which means
threat.
that we automatically know that we cannot defeat them here.
And look at that, it's a return of that, sort of that Titan boss fight, only this one is now cleaned up instead of the stony and crusted
Basically,
one.
run.
Hey, Knack, come out and play. You know, I can't believe I'm saying this. It was more fun when Gundahar was doing it with us. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not saying much, but at least Gundakar had more of a thematic approach, and
Oh, jeez.
he had more presence to him. I guess these guys are supposed to be more silent and deadly and more competent.
Because we're robots,
And this
Joe,
just
we
makes
don't
you-
feel emotions.
Well, the thing is, Joe, that's what
Theo, these-
genericus will do to an enemy. That's the big problem. These robots are so generic.
You know what this just makes you realize, though? That Knack really tends to fail whenever it tries to be more serious and... No, not even competent, just trying to be more serious.
Indeed. All right, let's beat up more mooks.
Yeah,
Clearly
we're-
are dead, I guess.
Don't worry, Jova.
It's okay, they're the
they
bad
only
guys.
faded. They only
Yes,
faded.
Besides, they're the bad guys, and how is that Titan not broken through that wall?
I guess
see,
he
Joe-
really is that incompetent.
Or maybe even better. They
Look
were
at that,
turned
it's
into
only shattered the
experience points,
windows.
and they're now part, and now they live on through Knack.
So let me get this
You-
straight. It only shatters the windows? What are those buildings made out of? Like, I mean, that thing was leveling metallic structures. And now apparently a bunch of brick and mortar can keep it well intact for enough hits?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
It's made of cardboard. I don't know.
What the fuck was I supposed to even dodge there? Whatever. Moving on.
It looks like cardboard.
Using the right analog stick for dodging
Maybe,
maneuvers.
yeah, these kind of looks like like if it was supposed to be kind of like Puppeteer in a sense of being like a theater play. Puppeteer kind of has these kind of sequences where you basically run from part of the stage while you're being chased by something. The thing is, since
They
it's
look a lot more
mostly
charming, though.
not only that, the scenario is literally made of paper, so that's why it looks kind of like that. Come on,
Knack?
Pedro, you can get that sunstone. Oh well.
Whatever. Moving on.
Hey, Knack's
All
getting
right.
bigger. Maybe we should give him more relics, Ava.
Oh, so I guess there were other titans that we didn't know about existence.
My good, no. I'm guessing that's still the same Titan that's been chasing.
No, but that's
us.
the thing. In total, that I saw, getting away were 4 titans. We knew about 3, and one of them was decommissioned before it could activate. So,
Xander's probably piloting the last one.
hello.
Nice try.
Come on, Pedro, mash that square button.
Look how good I am at Knack too. That's why
I'm
I know it's
too
a good
big
game.
for that. I'm too big for that now. Yes, Knack, you're too big. No, I will not be comparing
Well-
you.
Oh, and I guess he runs away like a little pussy. Okay.
Seriously?
What a pussy indeed.
Also, okay. I'm too big for that now. What made them think that was gonna be awesome? And
Hey,
no.
Joba,
What?
how do you like me now? How do you like me now?
I don't like you at all.
Ouch.
Basically, sure, the first Knack game literally ends with playing How Do You Like Me Now in the credits.
Well, Knack is
Yeah.
dancing to it. They clearly thought
Very
that this...
awkwardly dancing by
They,
you.
trust me, sure. They really thought this franchise was gonna be all that in a bag of chips.
Is it awkward in the same sense as that one David Cage dance sequence, or is...
No,
where's the
nothing can ever be as glorious as the Indigo Prophecy dance, actually.
It was so bad.
It was.
It was gloriously bad, though.
It was, I guess.
Okay, is Jennifer Hill
Hey,
just
made
having?
you, hey, made you laugh your ass off.
Okay,
That could
Yeah,
shit
I
for
guess.
something.
Okay, was Jennifer Hill just having a breakdown in the recording studio during this chapter? Seriously.
She realized that I actually took this fucking role.
Job.
And you're paying me how much?
Knack, you can do it.
Oh, I guess that guy's gonna stay behind to hold us
Sure, I
up.
guess.
Why would he stay behind?
To
to
buy
stop
time
Knack, of
or
course.
try to defeat Knack in the process.
I guess.
Knack is just that strong, I guess. Okay. Physics be danged. Hold.
Yeah, oh, that's some robot gore there.
Knack, hurry!
And we guess this is the reason why he doesn't have relics anymore at the end for the next level. Oh no, some of them
okay.
actually got here.
There we go. Very good, Tail.
So
Knack,
only
I'm
like
so
half the
glad
size.
you're
Yeah.
Knack,
there you
I'm
go.
so glad you're okay. That's
To be
all.
fair, this is a better explanation than just like the majority of them in the previous game.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they just on the other game they just drop. He just drops basically.
We were the equivalent of Metroid Prime of Samus being slammed into a wall.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Well, see you for the next part.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.